Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently ready to deploy. So let's go ahead and hop directly into the command center. And I mean, we're getting to a decent amount of funds on hand, which is neat, but I wouldn't mind more. Escort, Blackout, Dual. This recovery does not have a lot of max pay. Is it a free priority salvage at least? Nope. It sure is not a free priority salvage. Let's not do that one, probably. What about something like... I mean, this is another recovery here. I'm gonna check, but no. No free priority salvage there. Ooh, this is a lot of max pay. And it's against planetary government. This could be a little spooky, but it is a free priority salvage here. So we could sit here, get 3.5 million C-bills, even if we get a lot of enemies here, which we likely will with this kind of max pay. I mean, we can afford to sit for a little while and do some repairs. So in theory, this is probably fine. But I do expect this to be a challenging one. So let's see how this goes. Yes, this is expected. Okay, that took a minute or so to load, so let's see what... Ooh, I see 3 objective markers. Okay. Initiated. Yeah, you don't say, Darius. We knew this would probably be a bit of a spicy one. So immediately we are seeing 3 objective markers, so we know they've got at least 12 units. Ooh, we can deploy pretty forward here. This is not a bad spot. We can position up here with our fire support, come down this way with our cavalry and our faster mechs. I mean, we're not going to have a lot of cover on this ridge line, but it's not bad. Let's go ahead and spawn here and see how it goes. Okay, so let's update our sensors, and then we'll take stock of what enemies we've got. Okay, so we see a Cascatel, a Highlander, a Sturmfuhr. This over here is a Behemoth, an Oracle, a Marauder, a Timberwolf. That's apparently the Bounty Hunter variant of the Timberwolf. An Archer, Annihilator, Highlander, Marauder, and Marauder. So they've definitely got a pretty high tonnage company here, but shouldn't be too bad. We can fight a couple at a time with the terrain to our advantage, and that should be pretty okay. As far as the Ifrit goes, I'm going to loop it around this direction. I know I said the cavalry were going to go this way, and they are, but the Ifrit is going to go this direction.
Going full throttle.
Mostly because I want to loop it around and start harassing some of these guys. So that'll be fine for now. And that does not look like a Timberwolf. It is, but it doesn't look like a Timberwolf because it's missing the missile pods. Okay, interesting. Well, next up we've got our Manticore. So as I said, we're sending the cavalry around this direction. For purposes of this battle, all of our vehicles are cavalry, and our Blackhawk is considered cavalry, as is our Marauder. Or not our Marauder, our Mauler. They have like 3 Marauders. Well, the Rommel's going to head out over here.
On my way. Double time.
There we go. So that Annihilator is pretty far out, and that's really good for us. I'm going to move our Atlas over this way. We want to get our fire support up on this tree line, but first we're going to have to engage this Timberwolf and get that cleared. So that's understood. As long as we have LOS, it shouldn't be a very big problem for our fire support to take him out, so should be fine. The Corsair is really kind of considered fire support here, so we'll put it up over on this side. Okay, next up is our Dual Gauss Atlas. We're considering that fire support, absolutely. And we'll have that head up over this direction. And then we've got our Battle Master here. I think I'm going to consider the Battle Master as a cavalry unit for purposes of this battle. We'll put it up over here for now, and it'll get accelerated up a little faster next round when it's not passing through the trees. The Stalker is very clearly a fire support unit, and we'll put that up over here. And then we've got our Mauler. Once the game is responding, there we go. And let's move that up over here. Perfect. So we're going to need to get that Cascatel shot down soon, right? And they could start they could start coming around this corner with this lance pretty quickly. It's actually an augmented lance. And that means that we want to get the Cascatel shot down this turn. It has no evasive. So if we can prioritize it, if we get good initiative rolls here, we might be able to shoot it down very quickly. That would be the dream. We'll see if it happens. But for now, the Cyclops is absolutely considered a fire support unit, and we'll just put that right out over here. Okay, let's check. The Cascatel moves first. That is very unfortunate. I had hoped it would roll like another 18, and we would get to move several units first, but no such luck. It attacks our Stalker and does a decent amount of damage to it, but we did manage to AMS quite a bit, and it only has 7 evasive, so we can probably still shoot it down. I'm going to jump our Cavalier over here, and we can start trying to soften it up a little bit with our mag shots. Only 6 damage. That's 2 glancing blows, not a lot. What else do they have? Well, their Oracle is moving next, and that guy is... Really? We're able to AMS those mortars? No, that's not what happened there. He has an LRM-5, and we AMS'd the LRMs. Okay. That was a very long-range shot on our Mauler there. I'm actually kind of surprised that that hit. They're getting very good shots here, by the way.
Damage is minor, Commander.
One of these days, we'll get to respond. Wow, they're shooting so well.
Not much armor left in that location.
That is some incredible shooting from way back here against targets that are moving this fast. That's really good by them. We're going to move our Blackhawk up over here for right now, and we're going to shoot at this Cascatel. Hit odds are very, very low. And we only hit 1 on 35% hit odds. That is not good luck at all. Like, realistically, we would have expected to hit 4 there. They are hitting literally everything. Okay. It's going to be one of those missions. I see. I'm going to put the Manticore out over here, and the Manticore is going to be very exposed here. We're going to attack this Highlander and see what we can get done. What? That was 85% hit odds. Okay, it's one of those missions. Gotcha. At least I missed that one. That's something. But our rolls are apparently absolutely abysmal in this mission, and that's good to know. We're going to be moving the Ifrit all the way up over here. And we're absolutely going to be hitting like the rear arc of the Annihilator, the Highlander up here. We need to be harassing these. I'm not going to be dropping the bomb and the AGM yet, so let's just see what we can get done here. Once again, very bad rolls there. So the Highlander here is pulling back. Now, he mostly missed our Ifrit, and that's very good because he could have shot down the Ifrit there. Next up, what are we moving? We are moving our Dual Gauss Atlas. So we can come down over here, and we could shoot at either this Cascatel, or we can shoot at the Bounty Hunter, Timberwolf. And this has the slightly higher hit odds, but any way we slice it, it's going to be spicy. That's not a bad shot. We got a head hit there. 21 activations remaining. That's barely worth bleeding out. Okay. Okay. They finally got a solid miss there. That's good. Next up is our MCJ Atlas, and I'm positioning that right over here. We could shoot again at that Cascatel, or we could shoot at the Timberwolf. Hit odds are identical, so I'm going for the Cascatel. We got a little bit of damage into him there. A lot of AMSing happening. Okay. That didn't do very much. So that's noted. The Corsair should absolutely be shooting at the Cascatel here, I feel like. Yeah, we get a lot of rolls here. Let's see what we can get done. That's a good armor sink there. I like it. They're still moving a lot of units. The Annihilator moved and did not fire there, so that's good. I'm going to move the Stalker up to here, and we could fire at the Timberwolf or at the Cascatel. I'm taking the shot at the Timberwolf. That was a pretty decent shot there. Okay. So this Timberwolf almost certainly is running an XL engine, which means we can probably take him down pretty quickly there. Once again, a very solid shot there. We're not terribly shocked about that, though, given how they've been shooting thus far. So the Rommel wants to get up into the territory up over here, right? And we could fire rear arc on a couple of their units here. 100 HP and 245. So if we could fire rear arc on this Sturmfuhr, that would be neat. We can't quite get into the cover without sprinting, unfortunately. I would prefer not to sprint, but here we are. So I think we probably shoot at the Sturmfuhr's rear arc. This guy's got a lot of armor, but we did some decent damage to him. Okay. Next up is our Mauler. I'm putting the Mauler here. And we're going to shoot probably at the Cascatel. These are not the greatest hit odds in the world, but let's see what we can get done. Structure exposure there. Okay. In the front. One more solid hit and he's down. So I'm going to put our Demolisher here. We've got the flak ammo selected, and this probably kills the Cascatel. Yeah, there we go. Down goes the Cascatel in a slightly laggy manner, but nevertheless, it's down. Next up is our Battle Master, and I'm putting it over here. We're going to want to go this way, but I'm going to shoot at the Timberwolf. Pretty good damage into the Timberwolf there. He is almost, but not quite, unsteady. I'm going to put our Cyclops up over here, and we're just going to continue to shoot at the Timberwolf here. That was not good damage on the Timberwolf, but we did get him unsteady. Question is, when does he roll initiative? The answer is 18. So we do get to move, like, one unit before he does. Man, their shooting is good. I'm aware. So we get to move the Cavalier here, and that's literally the only unit that we get to move from this entire cluster, from literally all of these, with the exception of the Demolisher, before the Timberwolf moves. We did hit all of those, and we took out his Clan Pharaoh Fibrous. Now, he's not in good shape. So that's certainly noted. My main concern right now remains the Manticore. Yeah, like this. They dropped acid mortars on the Manticore, as well as mines in this area. Those mines aren't too bad. I'm not that concerned about it. And now this Marauder is attacking our Rommel. Okay. We were in cover, so that helps.
Systems holding.
Well, next up is the Demolisher, and the Demolisher can position right up over here in the rear arc of this Highlander, which is absolutely delightful. We could kill this Highlander if we rolled really, really well here. We didn't. We missed both of those, which is unfortunate. And he gets to move pretty soon. They immediately follow up with a very heavy attack on the Demolisher, hitting literally everything that they fired there. Okay. They're shooting incredibly, incredibly well. We're going to be positioning up behind this Highlander. We already softened up the Annihilator's side arc, but I want to position right up over here. I'm not dropping the bomb, but I will drop the AGM. Okay, we got some damage there. Now they move 4 things in phase 18. The Timberwolf is one of them. Man, they shoot well.
Reporting. Major armor.
Every single one of those hit.
Reporting. Heavy damage.
I mean, it wasn't the target that really mattered, but every single one of those hit. Next up is this Marauder, shooting at our Demolisher, and still getting some pretty good shots there. We don't get to move our Demolisher for quite a long time, and that's understood. Their Highlander positioned like that, huh? Okay. Well, they've got one more mover this phase, and it's this Sturmfuhr. Probably also going for our Demolisher. Actually, no. It goes for our MCJ Atlas and fully misses. I like it. That's good. So next we get to move our Blackhawk. The plan was to move into the rear arc of this Highlander. That's not going to happen. But what we can do is we can position here and hit the rear arc of either the Oracle or the Sturmfuhr. The Sturmfuhr is way higher hit odds. So that's a lot of damage into its rear arc. The Annihilator doesn't fire. That's fantastic. And I want to put the Manticore back over here where we're not going to really hit the mines. Only a little bit of mines there. And we'll continue to fire at the rear arc of this Sturmfuhr, which is very weakened. Okay, we hit the PPC, and that's what really mattered. So next up, they're going to be moving something, but I don't know what. Game is currently frozen. I'm sure it'll figure it out. Okay, they actually got a head hit out of that, but injury resisted, so that is fine. Next up, we've got our Battlemaster. So we're considering the Battlemaster as a cavalry mech. We need to get this thing as caught up as we can out over here, and I'm going to position it here. We don't have a great angle, but I'm going to keep shooting at this Sturmfuhr. And we actually got him, I think. Ooh, he's got a lot of internal structure. Okay. Very close, but not quite. We're going to advance up over here and continue to hit this Timberwolf. That was a huge damage. He does not have an XL engine. We took out his torso there. Fascinating. A Timberwolf without an XL engine? That's wild. Next up is the Corsair, and I'm going to park that right up over here. We're going to shoot over our Cavalier and hopefully not stray shot it. Not a great shot, but we did some damage to the Timberwolf, and he ejected. So that's good. We also didn't manage to stray shot our Cavalier. So this ridge is now ours. This position is completely under control. I'm going to move our Stalker up over here, and we're going to lob some missiles over at this Sturmfuhr. And we got it. Okay. So the Sturmfuhr is gone. We're starting to make a serious dent in the enemy forces. The Highlander is probably going for our Ifrit here. And it missed everything. Okay, that's really, really good for us. So next, we've got our Mauler. And I want the Mauler to move a little further than this. I'd like it to get here, but it can't get there. We're going to have to move it to here. And the Highlander may be the best option here. Technically, I feel like the Oracle is. None of these are fantastic options. I'm going to shoot at the Oracle. If we can take this guy down, it's pretty thin armor. That would be very good for us. We got some solid damage on it anyway. So that looks good. Next up is our Atlas K. Now, we could park that right here and lob a pot shot way out at this Marauder. Only 25% hit odds. We hit one of them. Well, we take that. Next up is our Rommel. I want the Rommel in right over here, parking in the rear arc of both this Oracle and the Behemoth. The Behemoth has a lot of armor, so we're going to be going for the Oracle here, which we could easily destroy. And so we did. Perfect.
Let's do this. That's a kill.
We're chipping our way through these enemies pretty well right now. So next up is our Cyclops. We probably need to sprint that up to here, and then we can take pot shots out at these Marauders. It's going to be this one.
Target is confirmed.
We managed to get 49 damage into it. We take that. Okay, next round. How did we roll in initiative? Well, this guy rolled a phase 14. That is really, really bad for him. That's excellent. I'm going to put our MCJ Atlas up over here. We could shoot at either of these. Hit odds on the Heavy Gauss are pretty low, so I'm just going to pot shot out the ER Large Laser for now. No hit, but we don't really expect one.
Failed to connect.
Okay. Next up is our Atlas K, and I don't want to move the Atlas K yet. I'm reserving that. Next, we have our Stalker. I'd like to get our Stalker out into a proper LOS out over here. I don't love this position, though. None of these positions are great. So I'm going to reserve the Stalker. Then we've got our Cavalier. The Cavalier is going to jump out over here. We don't have LOS on anything. We're not going to get it. So that looks fine. Next is our Rommel. Now, we could start trying to get, like, behind this Marauder and flanking this Archer. Or we could park back over here, but that's not much evasive. I feel like this is the position. So we park here, and then we shoot at the Archer in the rear arc. We could theoretically destroy this Archer with a single shot, but it's very unlikely. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Negative damage.
Sadly, we failed our sensor roll. Next is our Demolisher, and this guy needs to get up at least to cover, up over here. We'll position it there, and we're going to fire into the rear arc of this Behemoth. We managed to hit one of those. So we significantly softened the rear armor of the Behemoth. Next up is the Ifrit. I want to get that down over here. Now, we haven't fired the bomb yet, and I'm still not going to. Let's shoot at this Marauder and see what we can get done. We're just harassing right now. Not great on the missiles, but it's fine. The goal for the Blackhawk at this point is get in behind their Highlander and see what we can do here. That was a lot of damage. We hit every single laser there, but unfortunately it spread out a lot. Not really what we're looking for, but not the worst thing either. I'm going to move the Atlas K up here now that this area is slightly clearer, and we could shoot at either of these. It's going to be this Marauder. Okay. Not a terrible shot. They're going to start responding. We rolled pretty well on the initiative there. Oh, they're going for a Mauler. Okay, sure. The Mauler doesn't mind that. And I don't think that Marauder moved. So our Corsair is next, and we're just going to be continuing to lob shots out at these guys. Slightly higher hit odds on this Marauder. We broke through the armor on that Marauder, which is actually pretty surprising. Next up is our Manticore, and I would like to get the Manticore up into this cover out over here. I'd like to get it into some rear arc over here. We're not quite there, but we can shoot at the Behemoth, and it's possible that we hit the rear arc here. We didn't hit anything, but worth a try. So now that we've got a numerical advantage, things really feel like they're swinging, don't they? Let's position ourselves here with our Stalker, and we're going to take the very long-range shot out over here. Hit odds are really quite low, so I'm just going to pot shot the ER large laser. We don't hit it. We're not surprised about that. So they're going to start attacking us here pretty soon. This archer is running away and attacking our Ifrit, missing everything again. Our Ifrit has been rolling really well on those evasives. I like it. That's very solid. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and hopefully, next episode, things don't start to swing back the other way. We'll see. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Thosmos VR, DJ Man Wild, Wolfman 2000, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Spock, Moonfall, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.